for QBs, calling Elway, please. Send me a QB. Send me a QB right now. Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. And we finally got something to talk about instead of all the bullshit mocks out there that don't mean anything. Because right now, reality is setting in, the real world. And like I said, we have something to talk about now. And I think one of the questions or one of the situations that will be monitored in the future will be the matchup between Devin Bush and Noah Fant. Okay, I think that's going to be something people are going to want to look at. Noah Fant, okay. And here's the thing, too, with the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have so many needs, so many holes to fill. And I can't fault the Bronco organization for picking Noah Fant. Quite frankly, I thought he was, in my opinion, he was the number one tight end for me. Sports Talk Radio in Denver was just going on about Hawkinson. And the difference between Hawkinson and Fant is, I believe that, and I think I could get a lot of backup on this, is Fant is the faster between the two tight ends. Hawkinson is the better blocker. So, you know, is Gronk, did they hire him to be a blocker, or Kelsey? I mean, is that... I would say that Fant fits the Shannon Sharp 2.0, the new and improved versions of the Shannon Sharp. He definitely has the burst over his counterpart there who went to Lions country, Hawkinson, that all the sports talk radio in Denver were, hawking about. I am very surprised he managed to fall to 20. I can't see how they could, because the tight end was... They needed tight end last year. And they didn't even use, or should I say Musgrave didn't even use the tight ends until the last 3 quarters of the season. Okay, we'll put you in a play-action system. Okay. To Case Keenum. And it's funny, interesting about, speaking of Case Keenum, Washington, all this talk about quarterbacks, Washington picks up Dwayne Haskins, and if anybody's ever done any kind of analytic on Haskins, he's definitely a pure pocket quarterback. So they bring in, and poor old Case Keenum, they bring him in, who's a play-action quarterback. Now they have Dwayne Haskins, who's a pure pocket quarterback. So here you got your coaching staff. What are you going to do? Well, it's the best quarterback that wins. Well, if you got Case Keenum, you're going to run you should if you want to win games, unless you don't want to win games, like maybe Musgrave in Denver. With Case Keenum, you want to start a play-action system. Well, if you get everybody starting a play-action system... Now, think about... Now, I know this is the Washington Redskins, but I have to say this because of coaching and how just utterly stupid the NFL is. So, if you do this quarterback competition stuff, or, obviously they'll probably want to put Haskins in, but why would you take in Keenum if you're going to be running a pocket quarterback? I don't know. It's just and I feel sorry for Haskins because he's really going to a lemon of a team. So, I don't know. Maybe they got a better offensive line than the Broncos too. I mean, that's not saying much. Now that brings us back to Denver. I mean, you got Noah Fant, and you got Cortland Sutton and some of the other receivers. You got Joe Flacco. Here's the problem. Problem is you have crap for an offensive line. So, while the offensive line are rebuilding it or trying to get it to gel, the rest of the offensive players like Noah Fant and Sutton and Flacco are going to have to deal with, it's going to have to be quick throws. That's what I said at the beginning of last year. I said the offensive line being in the state it has to be quick throws, of course. Musgrave, would have none of that. It was, again, drawing up plays that, they had no business drawing up. And having, Case Keenum, who's a play-action quarterback, play a pocket, it just never ceases to amaze me in the NFL. Just this really, we're a professional organization. Yeah, but making stupid moves. So. Noah Fant, can't blame the pick. I thought he actually was the number one tight end, in my opinion. Number one tight end in the draft because of the burst of speed that he gets. They really need, without the offensive line, they really need somebody with a burst of speed. That's something they certainly haven't had in the Broncos country for a long time. Because Flacco's going to have to get rid of the ball, and I'm hedging a bet that Flacco's going to get injured at some point in this season if the offensive line is as bad as it has been for the last 4-5 seasons. Oh, but we got the guy from the Pittsburgh Steelers, the offensive line guru. Well, he doesn't play, he isn't playing offensive line, so that's still, we have to see. So, the question is, Devin Bush, and Devin Bush is a remarkable player. He is an absolute remarkable player, and he's going to be around for a long time in this league. Question is, I think Noah Fant can be that kind of an impact player, but I got really high skepticism on the Denver Broncos about what they're going to be able to do. Like I said, they're going to have to they're going to have to get rid of the ball quick, almost Brady-like quick. If they're running plays that take a long time to develop, it's probably going to be another disastrous year for the Denver Broncos. So I don't blame the Broncos for wanting to go offense, at least get some sort of and they're getting younger players in, the up and coming players, and that's good with a and it's not even bad if you think about it, with a veteran quarterback. Can really help those young players out. Again, my problem with Flacco was it was the offensive line, more so than Flacco himself. But because he is injury prone and he isn't the same guy. He's not the same guy rolling out and as quick as he used to be. Flacco actually used to be a pretty quick kind of guy, but that's not the case anymore, especially with younger, faster players. He looks pretty slow on the field these days, so you don't really want him hanging on to the ball too long. Scangarella is going to have to come up with quick throw plays for, and hopefully that they can get a few deep balls plays right without getting the quarterback killed. So okay, the draft has begun. They picked up a need, and they definitely had a need in tight end. I mean, to have a marquee tight end. But here's the thing: the Broncos they've got really needs on both sides of the line. And it's just too bad that some of these guys went on the 10th. I mean, even Oliver would have been a solid pickup too, but Noah Fant, I can't complain about that. But again, like I said, it's just one hole of many holes that need to be filled, and there's linebacking that needs to be addressed. Nobody is in the middle of that Broncos line. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's marquee or worth it. So you may see the Broncos getting gashed in the middle again, regardless of who our head coach is. Also, the offensive line, it's the guy, our head coach and the offensive line coaches, they're going to have their hands full. That's where the work really is going to be. And if anything's going to be done, that's where it's going to have to be done. Is linebacker. Oh, and then we have, what about Elway and Harris? That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out too. So even though Noah Fant is a decent player, the Broncos are definitely not out of the woods. That's for sure. As far as just getting on track, a lot of work to do, a lot of parts to fill, a lot of holes to fill. I guess if you want to put it that way. So we shall see. Do you believe in converting third downs? Do you believe in points? Open fire on an open receiver. You can get lucky in the draft. Looking for QBs, calling Elway, please. Send me a QB right now.